Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons with Troy. Well, in today's lesson, we're back in open D tuning with my Sertano LapSteel here and the writable fingerboard. I'll be using that a lot in this lesson, but this lesson focuses on the E Dorian minor scale, which simply put, it's a major scale with a flatted third and a flatted seventh. Okay, another way to think about it is it's the second mode of the D major scale, the E, specifically the E Dorian minor scale. So it's going to use the same exact notes as the key of D, which means we're going to have an F sharp and a C sharp note in there. I have this jam track, this and another jam track and a diagram plus full lesson is available on my site lwtstreaming.com for my subscribers. And all this jam track is it's an E minor chord to an F sharp minor chord. Okay, but it really can give you that sound when you play E to E and you have an F sharp and a C sharp note, but all your other notes are what's called natural notes. It'll really give you that sound of that E Dorian minor. Here, let me show you what I mean. So that's that sound of that scale. So let's go ahead and start writing this out. First off, what I'm going to do is in red, that's going to be my root notes. So let's go ahead and put where our E roots are. Now keep in mind with this lesson, I'm really going to be focused on these top four strings pretty much. So, okay, second fret, first string and fourth string are E notes. It's going to, okay, seventh fret, we think seventh fret's an A chord, right? But the second string and fifth string are the fifth of that chord, and the fifth of an A major chord is an E note. So let's put those notes in there. Okay, and then here's 10th fret is a C chord. Third string is the third of a C chord is an E note. So there's that E. 14th fret is the same as second fret. So we have first string, 14th fret, fourth string, 14th fret. And those are all my E notes, okay? Now, on one string, let's just do this on one string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use different colors because I'll show you in just a second a few of these X patterns that's real nice for this. So, 12th fret, D, 11th fret, and there's a C sharp note. Get that where you can see it. There you go. Okay, now, because I'm gonna use a different color for the next couple notes. 9th fret is a B note. 7th fret is an A. And then I'll go back to the blue, and this will make sense. The different colors will make sense in just a little bit. 5th fret, that G. 4th fret, F sharp, and then we're back to E. So let's focus in right now on this fourth string, just playing the scale on one string. And I tell you what, let me erase this here. Just let's focus on the scale in the top four strings, right? Okay, now you can really see if you just focus on that fourth string, you can see going from red to red, or second fret to 14th fret. You can see that scale. There's that flatted third, flatted seventh, and then root. Remember, the Dorian minor scale has a flatted third and a flatted seventh, versus a regular natural minor would have a flatted sixth in there, a C natural, right? But the Dorian minor scale has a regular major sixth in there. So let me just play this scale once again, now that you can see it with this jam track. It's good if you're practicing this to just play the scale just like that and do it slowly. Try to get your intonation right. And I honestly, comparing this to my Duesenberg, I'm so used to the Duesenberg because it has a longer scale length and the frets are closer together on this one. It's a different scale on the Sertano. So I'm really finding myself trying to, you know, my intonation gets a little bit squirrely on it. So I tell myself, just play it slow and go from there. Okay, so now the other thing that I wanted to do, like I said, is show you a couple of these boxy X patterns because we want to start improvising kind of bluesy, because the Dorian minor scale is great for blues really too. So let's put in here, remember E is our home bass, 14th fret or 2nd fret, right, for the key of E. So there's a D note, and there's our flatted 7th. Okay, there's a B note, there's the 5th of our scale. There's an A note, that's the 4th. Okay, here's a G natural, that's the flatted 3rd. Now let's focus in on, this part of it. Do you see that X right there? There's our X. Now this is great for blues. You can, if I play this jam track, I can just improvise just with this and play blues licks all day long, and it'll sound nice, you know. So here we go. Right, so that scale sounds nice like that. Excuse me. But let's go ahead and add a couple notes in there. Let's add this C sharp note. Now C sharp, you can see it here too. This is an octave lower C sharp. C sharp is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th of my scale, C sharp. So there's the 6th. And then let's add this F sharp in here, 12th fret, 3rd string. F sharp is going to be, if this is our root, E, when you go a whole step up from E, that F sharp is going to be the 2nd. The 2nd is also called the 9th, if you're thinking about it with the flatted 7th in there, right? So now we can take this pattern here and we can improvise it, and that's really going to give you that sound of that Dorian minor. Now you can start to see why I chose these colors here. Blue right there works real good. So we got 14th fret's our root, 12th fret's our flatted 7th, 11th fret is our 6th. Now remember, 6th can also be the 13th if you're thinking the 7th's in there. What I mean is, I'm not talking about frets now. When I talk about the 13th, I'm talking about the 13th of the chord. We don't have to, that gets a little bit too jazzy, but there's the 14th fret B, is the 5th, 4th A, G flatted 3rd, F sharp 2nd or 9th. There's our E note, root, flatted 7th. Here we go. So just kind of playing more of the scale here. My ideas aren't groundbreaking or anything, but hey, let me show you this one idea that I really am liking here, and that's playing the scale in thirds. This is a real neat way to do it, and that's if we do it on one string. Let me show you on one string first. What all you're going to do is you're going to start here on your root, and we're going to go to a G. But see how we're jumping over that note there, that F sharp note? So we go E to G. Now we're going to come back to that F sharp and then skip the G, and then F sharp to A, G to B. So you basically skip a note but come back to it, skip a note, come back, skip a note, come back. Sounds like this. Right, so that's it on one string. My intonation, let me slow down. Right, so that's it. And you can also do that in a position. Let me show you that. So with this X shape that I just showed you, let's start here on 12th fret, 4th string, and we're just going to go straight up to 12th fret. Now what we've done is we've skipped this note. See, we went boom, boom, because this regular scale would be, right? So we're going 12 to 12, and now we're going to go 15 to 14. Now we're going to go 12 to 12 on 3rd string to 2nd string. Then we're going to go 13 to 14. And then we're going to go 12 to 11. And then 14 to 12. So you can see it's right on top of each other, 12 to 12, and then we go back up and back 1 fret there. And then on strings 3 and 2, we go straight up, and then we go up but over 1 fret. Now for strings 2 to 1, we go up and over 1 fret for that interval, and then up and over 2 frets. And then if we want to get the very last one, we just go 11th fret to 14th fret, 1st string. Right? And then let me play you that with the jam track. You kind of get the point, playing it in thirds. Okay, so let's think about this. We have an X shape here. Let me show you a couple other X shapes, because what you can do is you can start kind of using similar patterns that you play over this X shape over your 2 other minor positions. So let's go back and thinking, instead of E Dorian, let's think of this as the key of D major. Okay, the key of D major, remember, has a D major, G major, and A major chord. Same thing for E Dorian. But it also has 3 minor chords. And so we can use those minor positions as X shapes. So that's why I did different colors in this lesson. So here, let's play, think of the key of D, and our minor 6th chord in the key of D is a B minor, 9th fret. So that can be another X shape here. So let's write that in. 9th fret is a B note, 1st string. 7th fret is an A note. We're going to go 9th fret, 2nd string. Okay, now we're going to go 8th fret, 3rd string. That's that flatted third of a B minor chord, right? That's a D note. Now right behind D is a C sharp note. Okay, now let's focus in on just the green right now. Okay, with the green, if we focus in like that, notice the X shape there. Okay, let me put one more note in here. Let's put this note in here, 10th fret, 2nd string. And I am going to show you a little lick that I like in this position, over like an E minor. Okay. That little lick there where we go 9th fret, 1st string, and then 10th fret, 2nd string, down to my root note, 10th fret, 3rd string. And then you can come back up to that 9th fret, 2nd string. Now we can slide that down to 8th fret, back to 9th fret, 4th string. Or just end on the, you can bring it back to the 9th fret, 4th string. You'll end that on the 5th of an E minor chord, that B note there. That can work. Now if we do add in that root note here, this is another E, check this out. So there's an E there. Okay, if we add that. Probably wouldn't want to bring that major, but extend that on the B, and that'll sound cool because you don't always have to resolve on the root note of a chord too. You can resolve on the fifth or the flatted third or whatever. Okay, so anyways, you have that position there. And now let's switch back to blue, and think about the 3 minor chord in the key of D as an F sharp minor.